Wow, well, I was definitely waiting for this. Review time. Oh boy, and I'm dropping frames like crazy. 1.4%, so much for that being a Twitch thing. It's an internet thing. Well, I'm gonna do my best to not really rag on this game during the review, because like I said, I kind of came around to just being like, okay, I'm just gonna play through this game, and however long it is, whatever. I didn't particularly enjoy this game. As far as something I'll probably get into later in another video, another real talk, is of course how I rate games personally. If I'm looking at the different categories I'm going to base this off of, animation and visuals, I'm going to go with probably like a 3. Maybe I'll think about this. But let me see this. Animation visuals, I'm going to give a 3. Sound, I'm probably going to go ahead and do like a 4 out of 5. I think story, I want to give that a 2. It tried, but it let me see where I am if I give it a 3. 3 out of 5. Gameplay, I'll give the gameplay a 4. And then, so we have a 14 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4 categories. It ends up at a 3.5. I want to give that a lower score. So animation and visuals, 4 out of 5. I think it looked amazing. Sound, 4 out of 5. Story, I'm giving it 2. Gameplay, I gave it a 4. I'm gonna give that a 3. Does that seem? I don't know. I wouldn't say that seems fair, but yeah. I think gameplay, I'm gonna give a 3. Yeah, working from the top, I think that score is closer, because I really want this to be a 3 overall. Well done on achieving this great feat. You persevered and you triumphed. We hope you enjoyed yourself in the world of Hollow Knight. We'll meet you again soon on the road ahead. No way, I'm not playing this again. Yeah, I think I'm going to solidify those scores. I think I'm going to go animation and visuals 4 out of 5. I'm going to give sound a 4 out of 5. I think that's fair. I think story, I'm going to give a 2. And then gameplay, I'm going to give a 3. Yeah, that's... And then we'll divide by how many categories there are. 3.25, yeah. I'm going to lean that towards a 3. Which, yeah. Yeah, I would say that's fair. Yeah. Again, I'm going to go over all this stuff at a later point, but... I feel like I was thinking about this yesterday too, about like what I would rate this game and like if I'd give it 2 scores. To be honest, I think 3's fair, because what I was thinking about yesterday as I was getting ready to play this today is I'll probably give this 2 scores. Like I'll give it like a subjective, like how I feel about it, and then try to really be as fair as opposed to how the game was built as possible, and that would probably lean to being a higher score. But given that a 4 in animation and visuals, I think it looked really good. There was nothing about the way that it looked that like was off-putting. I thought that it was, I wouldn't say it's a very unique style, but it was a cool looking style, and I liked looking at it. The artistic style was good. The fidelity, I mean, everything, yeah, I think it looked just generally amazing. Above and beyond. Well, I mean, above and beyond, but like above average. So I'll give it a 4 for that. I think sound, Elon had pointed out when I was talking to him over Discord that he thought that things like just like the way the water sounded and like you're running through it. And I guess, I mean, if he wants to have his own system, he can. I think as far as the audio effects, the environmental sounds, the everything kind of fit really well together. And then the music really pushes that score up. That's what gives it. The music kind of takes it from just okay, this is just another like indie looking game, to being like, this is amazing. Like, even these ending credits, this theme here, as someone who studied and played music, this is amazing to to listen to. I love listening to the title theme. There was also that when you fought the kiln guy, I think it was, or the kin, not kiln, the kin. The music was kind of like a different take on the main theme music. So yeah, I think a 4 is fair there. The story, I get it. You know, I understand that it requires a lot of the extra thinking, and this is probably the category that, to me, I mean, this whole thing is subjective, but this is the category that really is going to be like the hit or miss you're talking about, Mass Ninja, the thing that is going to work for some people or it's not. It didn't work for me. I feel like I get what they were going for. I understand what they were going for. I just didn't like it, you know. And something I was equating previously to when I was something I equated the other day when I was comparing like movies. It's like, if you don't like superhero movies, and then you watch like Avengers and you're like, I thought it was not a good movie. Well, that's fair because you don't like superhero movies. But if you do like superhero movies, then obviously your opinion might skew more, you know, positive for those. I love stories. Most of the games that I play, assuming that they're not just gameplay games like Sonic the Hedgehog, if there's something that truly is, like there's a story in there, I want it to be at the forefront. I don't want it to be hidden in items. I don't want it to be hidden where, you know, in underground NPCs, or you have to like scour the world and again read items and stuff. I want it to be something where there is a character that says to you like, hey, you are this, and your character acknowledges who they are in relation to the narrative. And there are people or characters that exist in the world that you interact with that keep moving that story forward until you get to the end. You know, there's, you know, the 3-act structure or whatever. The idea that I'm sure, and something I'm going to do after I'm done streaming is I'm going to look up what the story is. And I'm sure that it's going to be this comprehensive, like, what Hollow Nest used to be and what it all means for your character and what the Hollow Knight was and how they were holding back this great threat or whatever. I didn't get any of that, like, the entire time I was playing. When you use the dream nail on people, and the fact that characters were written in a way that they tried too hard to make it, like, the story too deep. It was unnecessary, in my opinion. I was thinking about this earlier today. I was thinking about how one of the things that this game could have done, and I thought this would have really been nice, is if at the very beginning of the game, like every video game, you show up to the town. What is it? Not Hollow Nest. I guess it might be Hollow Nest. But you show up to the town, and the first character you interact with straight up tells you why you're there and what he needs you to do. And so everything after that, so like, for example, the first guy you talk to, let's say you come to Hollow Nest, and he says, oh, little shadow or little knight, I'm glad you could make it. You know, Hollow Nest has been this place of blah, blah, blah. We need you to reconnect all the zones and save us from this travesty, right? Then you know, as the player and as the character, okay, that's my objective. So then no matter how weird things get in the story, you know that ultimately you are trying to accomplish a specific goal. So whether it's in the fungal lands or the acid lands or the green path or wherever, you know what your objective is. I didn't get that at all in this game. My character shows up and everybody is just enigmatic and talking about, oh, I can get rid of your regrets. Oh yeah, I remember when my legs got old. You know, oh, you know, I used to be a swordsman. Oh, I know the mastery of the nail. Like nobody is saying anything that has like, that's connected to anything that's at the forefront of the story. So I didn't like that. And now that I'm talking about it more, it really deserves a 2 in my opinion. It really deserves a 2 because there are things that they could have done to try to make it a little bit more clear, you know, what they wanted the player to understand from the journey of this character. And again, I'm sure that there's this vast, huge story, but I didn't get it. I played it, my entire playthrough is on YouTube. I read everything that the characters were saying and it just went right over my head. I didn't get it. Gameplay, and this is the one that it doesn't deserve a 2, but giving it a 3 I think is fair because while the combat was nice, I liked how simplistic it was. The mechanics were good. The biggest thing, and this is the thing that, like, for some people it might not work, this might be a hit or miss, this game was ridiculously too long. This game was way too long. It needed to be 60% shorter. The Metroidvania aspect of this game and it really started to bother me, was when you would encounter a room where you would go from one side of the screen to the other and you would encounter like 4 doors. and they're just all locked. And what that tells you as the player is that you need to find a way into that room and then hit some kind of lever to open the door to get back into the room that you just came from. If that's the way the game designers wanted to program the game, that's fine. If that's their design that they obviously wanted to go with, I mean, that's preferential. I didn't like that. And I think something I can probably sum up with all the game design as far as like how many zones there were. There was no one that told you where to go or even gave you any hint. Like, how neat would it have been if, rather than the game trying to make you figure out, oh, I need to go to the acid area now, or the fog canyon or whatever, it would have been neat to me if, like, you fought somebody and as they died, they lost, like the Watcher Knights or whatever, they were just like, ugh, like, and they dropped an item. And the item was like for the acid thing. The fact that you just had to wander around the game and find stuff, I mean, like I said, that might work for people who like Souls games, Bloodborne, Dark Souls, Mortal Shell. I didn't like it at all. And one thing I think that I can probably sum up that I think that I'm going to be more vigilant about when I'm playing games in the future, regardless if they're free or not, I got to do research into these games before I play them. You know, I went at this on a recommendation, and while the person's opinion on video games I respect, if I had known that this game was going to be what it was before I started playing it, I would not have played it. So, but I wanted to finish it and see what my overall thoughts were, and a 3 out of 5 I think is fair. I will not play this game again. I don't expect I'll play it again. It's on to something else. And yeah,